So, I'm Dan from Cedar & Co. How's it going on its own? So, I started off as an apprentice. At 16 years old, I left school straight into accountancy. And I've worked my way up to be the manager at Cedar & Co.
Was that you at 16?
No. So, Cedar & Co, we're a progressive firm of accountants and business growth specialists based on Ashbourne Road in Derby. We're a small, friendly team and we work closely with our clients to help them through the challenges of business life and help them meet their goals. We do everything that you would expect from an accountant and more. I'm here to talk to you this evening about some of the changes in taxation for landlords. Some bits might not surprise you, and I'm perhaps going to talk about one bit that you might think is a bit odd that I'm talking about it, but hopefully it'll make some sense. So, I'm pretty sure you're probably all aware of the changes in the interest rules that are happening. They started changing, started changing in 2017 when 100% of your interest was allowable, slowly changing to 0% from 2020. So 17, 18, 75% of the interest allowable for tax, and it keeps reducing down the sliding scale. So what do I mean by that? Prior, if you had rental income of probably £500 a month, you might have an interest-only mortgage of perhaps £350 a month, and that would mean you've sort of made net profit before any other expenses of about £150 a month, and that would then be allowable for tax. The changes that are happening mean that by the time they were put into place 2020, the full 500 will be allowable, will be taxable, and that's a massive change from what people are used to, and I'm finding that many people are not aware of what's going on. So the biggest problem you've got is your rental income profit is going to be higher. Now that means you're potentially going to be pushed into paying higher rate tax when you're not used to it. That creates a bit of a problem because you're going to be paying a lot more tax than you're used to. And the other situation we're going to be finding, or that we are finding, are that people that never normally pay tax on their rental income because their mortgage was interest only and it was quite high, they're now going to be paying tax. And that's a big change for you guys. Who doesn't like paying tax? Exactly. So I've got a bit of an example here. Now it's Mr. and Mrs. Jones. They've got a decent portfolio. They share it out between them. We've got the details from the old rules before everything changed, and then we've got what's happening from 2021 when the rules have changed completely. So it's from one extreme to what you guys have been used to the other to what is going to happen. Now, say they've got a gross rental income of 150,000. That's quite a bit, but we've got to start somewhere. We've got general repairs, perhaps throughout the year, they spend £10,000 a year on it. But their interest is £100,000 a year on their mortgages. Okay? That means they've got net rental profit of 40,000. They're allowed their personal allowance, which I'm sure a lot of you are aware of. And then we've got taxable income of £8,000. Tax that at 20%, the tax due is 1,600 quid. That means they've paid a rate of about 4% on their net rental profit. Skip forward to 2021 when the rules are fully enforced. You've still got the same gross rent of 150,000, still got the same repairs of 10,000, but this time they've now got a net rental profit of 140,000 because their interest is not allowable. Okay, take off personal allowance, I've made some of the rates up just for comparison purposes. They've now got taxable income of £116,300. Anybody spot the difference? So tax that, basic rate 20%. Like I said, it's not going to be very exciting for some of you guys if you're not interested in tax. Tax the rest at 40%. Their total tax due is £31,520. Does anybody like that? No. But it's not all bad news. You still get a bit of a relief. So your £100,000 interest, 20% of that, you can take that off your tax bill. Okay? So your final tax bill is about 11.5 grand. That's a rate of 28.1% on your net rental profit. Now, I've worked out the net rental profit because you're still spending £100,000 on interest. So you're not actually any better off cash-wise. So, looking at that, we've got a net rental, 40/40. Both years, you've not changed how much money you've got. Tax due, 1,600, 11.5. Now, you don't need to be an accountant to work out, it's roughly 10 grand's difference. Okay? Total net cash income for 16, 17, 38,400. Now, suppose Mr. and Mrs. Jones live on that money. Okay, so they live to their means. 2021, they're going to have 10 grand less for doing nothing. So they've got to change their lifestyle just because the taxman's going to be taking more. Do you think they planned for it? Do you think that's fair? Not really, but it's what's happening. So all of a sudden, they're 10 grand down a year. That makes a massive difference to them if they live on that money. They're going to have to change their lifestyle. I feel sorry for Mr. and Mrs. Jones, to be honest with you. So, is there anything you can do? There might be. I could have stood up here and suggested some things to you, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's right for your individual circumstances. Everybody's circumstances are all individual. I can't stand here and tell you the best thing for you to do is have a conversation with me. Because nobody wants to start shouting up all their own personal details and asking me the questions. That doesn't work. Nobody will want to do that. So, if you're starting to feel a bit concerned about the changes that are happening there, please give me a call. Because that, in my head, having 10 grand less a year is a lot of money. So, this is the bit that, okay, I'm going to talk about it, and you might think, well, actually, that changed years ago. But I'm still finding potential clients, when they come and have a meeting with me, they ring up and say, Dan, I think we need an accountant, I've got some rental properties. I'm like, okay, cool, come and have a meeting, bring your stuff in for me, let's have a look. People are still turning up with work-ins trying to claim the wear and tear allowance. That's been gone since 2016. People are still trying to claim it. How nuts is that? In fact, I met with somebody last week trying to claim that. Now imagine if they'd got an inspection and they pull out their workings for Mr. HMRC inspector and they've got that wear and tear allowance on there. What's he going to do? Oh well, sorted them out anyway. So they've got rid of the wear and tear, they've replaced it with the replacement domestic items rules. It's not just available for the furnished lets, okay? Now, wear and tear, you can claim that year on year. You didn't actually have to spend any money. Now, you've got to spend some cash to be able to get the relief, okay guys? Previously, if you had white goods, sometimes you could claim, sometimes you couldn't, it will depend on what was going on. Now, there's a good chance you might be able to claim something. So I've got an example here. You're going to buy some bits, you're going to be nice, you're going to replace the washing machine in your rental property, okay? It's going to cost you 20 quid to dispose of it, your old one. You're going to buy a new sofa for 700 quid, stick your old one on eBay and you might get 150 quid for it. So you're going to spend some money, you're going to make a little bit of cash back. Everybody likes making a little bit of cash back. Your deductions are going to be working out like this. Washing machine might not have been allowable previously. You're now going to be allowed it. You're also allowed the cost of disposing of your old one. Your sofa, you're allowed, but you've got to add back the amount of sofa that you've sold. So your deduction from your profits will be 870 quid. To get the same relief under the wear and tear, you'd have to have the net rental income of 8,700 quid. Okay? So that's just giving you a bit of an example to hopefully try and understand some of the changes that are going on. So the next bit. You decide you're going to buy a new fridge freezer for your rental property. You're going to be really, really nice though. You're not just going to replace that with a fridge. You're going to replace it with a nice fridge freezer. Okay? So you're not going to replace like for like. You're going to buy something, but you're going to buy them something a little bit different, a little bit better. So your new fridge freezer is going to cost you 600 quid. Whereas if you'd have just brought the normal fridge and replaced it with like for like, it would cost you £300. Okay? Because my slides are on automatic, you already know the answer. Your deduction is going to be restricted to the £300. Okay? You're only allowed to claim for replacing like for like. Does that seem fair to anybody? Doesn't to me. But there's not a lot we can do about it. The last bit I want to quickly talk about is, are you missing any tricks? So I could stand here and say, are you? Yes. But that doesn't mean, are you specifically? Because like I said, there's no one size fits all for this. There's many things that can be done, but it all depends on your own individual circumstances. So if you haven't got an accountant, please speak to me. There could be potentially things that you can do to stop you paying more tax than what you should be doing. So you could incorporate your property portfolio into a limited company, but there's bits that you've got to consider. Okay? Capital gains tax. Is it going to be payable when you transfer your properties into a limited company? Maybe. There might be some reliefs that mean you don't have to. Okay? Stamp duty. The ownership of the properties is changing. Have you got to pay stamp duty when you're moving them properties from your own name into a limited company name? The next thing is your mortgage borrowings. If you've got mortgages on them properties, the change of ownership is happening. So you've got to think about the mortgages in the limited company name. But the nice thing about being a limited company is that the interest rules are different. You can claim the interest. So there's some pros to going and doing it, but is it going to cost you money to be able to incorporate your property portfolio? And is it worth it? Might be. Don't know. If you want to find out, grab me, have a conversation, we can have an hour. So, like I said, I'm going to keep mine short because I don't want you guys to fall asleep. And secondly, how on earth do you make tax interesting? Don't know, and the sandwiches in a minute. So in summary, with regards to the interest relief changes, in the example of Mr. and Mrs. Jones, they are going to be £10,000 worse off a year because they haven't done anything. Now, me, I'd like that extra £10,000 a year. The wear and tear allowance does not exist anymore, but I am still coming across people trying to claim it. And the new rules for the replacement of the items, are you applying them correctly? That's it from me. Thank you.